What is going on, guys? Happy motherfucking Wednesday. We're back. I wanted to share some thoughts with y'all today. Some thoughts. Why does it always do this on Instagram? I copy it and it just doesn't go. There it is. Okay, cool. All right, we're there. What's up? We'll give people a sec and then we'll drop in what is going on, guys. Happy Wednesday. This thought just dawned on me. So I figured I'd come on during this cardio session. I'm going to come on during this cardio session and share this with you guys here today. I am just about two-ish weeks out from my next bodybuilding show. And it dawned on me this morning because we're getting towards the tail end of the prep here. Fatigue is high, patience is thin, hunger is there. We're fighting all the battles. And it's really fascinating to just observe our behavior as human beings, because for me specifically right now, being a couple weeks out from the show, a lot of the times I'm very fixated on, and let me know if you guys resonate with this. Can't wait till this is over. Like when we're in the suck, all we're thinking about is when it's going to end, when it's going to be over. And we're talking about just embracing pain. And that's where I started to get to this concept here today, is that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. And I think, especially if you're a bodybuilder too, this really lands for you. And this could give you a lot of peace and I think just overall fulfillment in your day-to-day that I think a lot of people lack, is this conversation right here. We're so quick to want to get out of the struggle. We're so quick to resist discomfort. But what if we could just get a bit more relaxed in that? And that's why I think things like ice baths and cold showers and the gym are important, because all those things are hard and you don't have to do them. But I think it builds so much character when you could find the discipline to put yourself in those scenarios over and over again, and really just building the muscle and the skill set of being comfortable in discomfort. Because let's just hypothetically entertain this for a second, right? You're in a difficult scenario. All you're thinking about is quitting, and you do. You have to live with that forever. And I'll tell you guys a quick story on this as well. When I was in my senior year at the University of Albany back in 2019, I had the opportunity to walk on to the Division I baseball team over there, and I did. And I made the team. And after the fall season, we had meetings before we went into the spring semester, and I was in the office with the coaches, and they sat me down and they basically said, "Hey, you're really not going to play at all." And I was like, fuck, man. And I sat there and it sucked and I was frustrated and I was upset. But in that moment, I decided to make a decision that I felt was in my best interest and walk away and focus my energy towards the next step in my career. And it wasn't an easy decision to make because I have been an athlete my whole life, and that was the goal, the end goal that I was working towards for years, and then I finally got there. And then to be told that I essentially wasn't good enough to partake in that role was really discouraging, and it was defeating, and it broke me down a little bit. But the reason that I'm sharing that with you here today is every day we have the opportunity to make certain decisions, either for our future self on where we're trying to go or continuing the identity of our past self. Does that make sense? If you guys are here with me live, drop a yes in the comments. Because if I go back to that situation with the baseball team, right, and me making that decision to walk away, I look back on that and I still regret it today, to be honest with you, because I, looking back now, have to think about the what ifs. What if I stayed? What could have happened? Should I have stayed? And I think that's a really difficult place for us to be in. Would you guys agree? Joey, good morning. Mrs. Kristen, what's up? Would you guys agree that the pain of regret is always much difficult, or I should say, a lot more challenging to deal with than embracing the temporary suck? My next show is in 2 weeks, well, 2-ish weeks. And this is something that governs a lot of my actions today, is giving my best because I don't want to experience another bout of regret for myself. And this goes for you as well. And that's why we're talking about this here today. Because I'll be honest, right now for this competition, my body's killing me. I'm exhausted. My joints hurt. I'm hungry. I feel small. I'm tired. All the things. And it's not me complaining. It's just the situation. But this is what gives me peace. And this is what I want to share with you guys. I know that this is temporary. I know this is not going to last forever. And I want to be able to, years from now, when I look back on this show, when I look back on the package that I brought, I want to be able to say to myself that I wouldn't change anything, that I could live with that I'm proud of that result. And if you just step outside the bodybuilding arena for a second, you could apply this to anything in life. That's why I love bodybuilding, because it is a mirror and it's a direct reflection to pretty much everything that we do on a daily basis. Thank you, Joey. Would you guys agree? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments. You guys are sneaky. You're just hanging out. Engage with me. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Like, I want to communicate with you guys. That for me is one, like I said, why I love bodybuilding, and two, why this is an important conversation to have with you guys and for yourself. So it's a good question to ask is how do you want to feel a few years from now with the things you're doing today? Do you want to be proud of those things, or do you want to look back with regret? Regardless of what the thing is, regardless if that's something in your career, something with your relationships, your partner, or maybe just the way that you communicate to your friends. What type of person are you? What type of leader are you? How are you showing up? Do you feel good about that? And I think that's the conversation that we need to be having with ourselves. Because if we're talking about experiencing happiness, if we're talking about experiencing peace and just getting the most out of our lives, I think that's how we do that, is to just feel good about what we're doing. So then it's, okay, well, if that's the case, how do we feel good about what we're doing? What do we need to do differently? And that's this conversation right here, is recognizing that the pain is temporary. It's going to go. It's not going to be there. But if you quit, you have to deal with that the rest of your life. And I know for me, when I look back on some of those things, it kills me, and I don't want to experience that. And there may be something in your life that strikes a chord when you think about it. We all have regrets. That's okay. I think it's natural as human beings. But I think what's not okay is repeating the same mistakes. Like, you have the awareness of something that is serving you or something that isn't. Right? Would you guys agree? The winter bulk is here. Load of content you're missing out. For example, stories, reels, and scripts. Let me guess, you're a copywriter. It's going to pitch me on emails. Cool. If you have an idea, shoot me a DM. I'm always open to it. Walking's not good. It's bad for your ankles. I would disagree. But does that land for you guys? Does that make sense? You guys want me to expand on that a little bit more? I think that it's something we could focus more on. Yeah, I figured. I get DMs from you guys every day. Listen, I get it. I respect the grind, man. But if you're serious about it, have a killer offer. If you don't have a killer offer, there's no reason for me to entertain it. And I mean it in the nicest way possible. There's going to be guys that will sugarcoat it and not be honest with you. I'm being direct with you and saying you have to have a killer offer, because if you don't, it's just a waste of time. And you could send a million DMs. Nobody's really going to give a shit. And that's just the truth, because I'm in the coaching space as well. I understand that. Start sitting on sofa for 30 minutes a day. It's guys like you, Nate. That's the problem in the world today. We need to take more accountability. We need to be more proactive. We need to push ourselves harder. because you always regret the things you don't do rather than the things you do. And that's what I want to remind you today. You can be great if you simply decide, and all you have to do is just push yourself out of your comfort zone just a little bit harder, just a little bit more. And it's just, it becomes a fun game of how much further could I go? What more could I do? What am I capable of? Because inside of that, then you have to start playing the game. You have to start putting yourself into the arena. Because if you don't, you're not able to pressure test where you're falling short, right? So it's almost this concept of, if you don't start to do the thing, you can't learn where your bottlenecks are. Bottlenecks meaning where you're falling short. If you don't uncover that, you can't get better. And if you're not getting better, you're going backwards. Complacency is the enemy. You have to be improving every single day. You have to be a student. You have to be learning. You have to ask better questions. That is if you want to experience a fulfilled life. If you want an easy life, you have to do the hard things. If you don't want to do the hard things, you will have a hard life. And that's what it boils down to. So I hope this message finds you well. Reminder, push yourself just a little bit harder today. Do just a little bit more. I truly believe everybody is capable of just a bit more. Just a little bit. And you'd be surprised. I think we, one, underestimate ourselves, and two, we like to play small. We like to sit in the back seat. We like to think it's everybody else's fault and not our own. We need to take more ownership, more responsibility. And I think the depth at which you could do that, that's the depth of success that you will experience. And that's what I've seen for myself. So hope this finds you well. Have a great day. I'll chat with you guys soon.